Well, I'm live, and it's too dark. How could I be a media teacher and be live when it's too dark? So, time for more light. Dun, dun, dun. Well, let's see. There we go. I'm here in my living room. The kids are all away doing their own thing, and it's just me and the dog. The dog wants to come and sit with me. Hey, everybody. Ain't this a close-up? Yeah. I apologize in advance if it sounds like shit or it looks bad because I'm just using the webcam on my laptop. So it's a busy week, homecoming week at the school. We have like a million shoots going on. I have a cold. What else is going on? But I figured I'd check in. So there's been a lot of questions about season 3. And I wanted to do an update. And for those of you who actually catch this live, I'll be giving away a few spoilers about season 3. So welcome. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as we proceed, but I'll get down to the nitty gritty. So we have a cast, and I pretty much kind of hinted at this on some of the Feedback Friday videos and a few of the crafting videos. So if you're a regular on the channel and you watch all the videos, you might have picked up a few of these spoilers already, but I'll kind of fill you in. So can you guys hear me okay? I don't know how much ambient noise there is, but yeah, we're live. So let's see. Welcome, Gunter, Solo Gunter, Matthew, Todd, Ellen, hi Ellen, Sandy, Fiona, Georgian, Daniel, Ryan Wolfcraft, Mike Yu. How did you make the black wash? Water and black paint. Good, so everybody can hear. Good, good, good. Well, the audio quality isn't too great because I'm sitting in the living room of my humble Chicago-style bungalow. And I have a cold, if you're just tuning in. So I'll get to the gist. Season 3 cast. So a lot of you know that Beecher, who was in the summer sessions and also played in Carl's game, he's kind of the anchor. And Beecher, we originally thought that his character Grimble, the dwarf, was going to be the tie-in to season 3. However, as much as Beecher enjoyed playing Grimble, like many players, he wanted to try a new race and class. Gunter. I didn't want to be prohibitive and force Beecher to play someone that he didn't want to play. So Beecher made a new character. Then Matt O'Malley, who's another one of the students, who's been behind the scenes. He was part of the production crew for season 2. Now he'll be in front of the camera. And Matthew is also making a new character. This will be his first time playing D&D. So his character is done. Beecher's character is done. And then some of you might remember Neely. She did a guest appearance on the show. She actually filled in for the last episode of the summer sessions. And she played Max Abrahamson's character, Drake. And Neely is going to be joining the show, which is very exciting because she's never played other than that one guest appearance. So yes, Joshua Patton, Neely is in the game. And then some of you, or I hope most of you, would remember our resident bard, Tony. Tony K, who played guitar in season 1 and season 2 occasionally, will be playing in the game. And he made a bard, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't want to give too much more information, but those 4 people are the core of the group for season 3. We have way more people who want to play in season 3 than we could possibly fit comfortably at the table. So my solution is I'm going to be implementing kind of a recurring cast of PCs who join that core party. The 4 people, Beecher, Tony, Neely, and Matt, are going to be the core party. But we have other people playing, so we're going to have some people joining the party for different adventures, but they won't be in necessarily every episode. And then for those of you who have been asking about the season 2 cast, there may be some special guest cameo appearances from people in the season 2 cast on season 3 of D&D with high school students. I'm trying to work that in. A lot of it has to do with real life timing and scheduling. So this is the other thing I wanted to tell you. Some of you have asked about D&D with college students, and we are looking at doing a way of putting it together so that we could play D&D with college students. We would probably be using either Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds or some kind of combination thereof with Google Hangouts. And I think everybody from season 2, all the college kids, would like to play. It's just, again, it comes down to scheduling. So some of them are in the Midwest, but others are kind of out on the East Coast. So some of you might remember that Carl went to Savannah College of Art and Design. So he's in a different time zone. And so did Matt Kavanaugh went out east. So he's in a different time zone. So we kind of have a couple small time zone things and scheduling things to figure out. But we are going to try to put together D&D with college students. Now, I will say that I got a tentative commitment from all of them to come back and play some short, I don't want to call them one-shots, but basically like a micro series over some of the breaks. So we might very well have like a winter break, almost like we did with summer sessions, but we have a winter break mini series with the season 2 cast. So you'd be able to see Carl and Heather and Max and Matt and the, you know, the whole gang. So that's pretty exciting. The other thing that I'm trying to do, this is just like a whole montage of spoilers, but the other thing I'm trying to do is get Anna to sit down for a meeting to talk about content, because you guys might have seen the video that I posted of Anna's game. And I honestly, I'm not being facetious. I literally don't know the name of her game. I don't know how it works. But there's enough interest, and I thought it would be cool if she hosted some more sessions of that game. They might have to have a new cast because I don't know if those girls are still around or not. So, et cetera, et cetera. But that's another thing we're working on. Let me just check in with y'all on the chat here. I don't know how much of a delay there is, but Nicholas, thank you. Hope I feel better soon. So do I. My eyes are watery. I'm really congested, and it kind of sucks. So, yes, Ryan, we're bringing back D&D with high school students, season 3. Thank you, Josh. How can I find people in my city to play D&D with? I just moved out of Brazil to Texas, and I'm kind of in a hard spot right now. I made a whole, actually, if you guys watch Rise and Roll, and if you don't, go over to Initiative Coffee Company's YouTube channel and subscribe. This past Monday's episode of Rise and Roll was literally all about finding gaming groups in person or online. The good news is that no matter where you are, there's a way to play this game. If you can't find people locally at your comic book store, game store, public library, school, whatever, then there's ways to find people online. So go watch that most recent episode of Rise and Roll, because Brian and I talked extensively about how to find a game group and how to get together with people to play. Okay, Ellen. Ellen brings up a good point. I'm still looking forward to the D&D with the kids. So my kids have an incredibly, insanely busy schedule. Like their life schedule is almost busier than me. That's why nobody's here right now, because they're all at activities. But I do have a group of kids, elementary and middle schoolers, who want to do D&D with kids. And I think it'll be awesome, because I've run games for my own kids and their friends before, and it is absolutely incredible to see what these kids can do. And in many cases, their role playing is excellent. Their strategy is excellent. They work together like a team. It can be really fun. So the only logistic is that I need to get permission from all their parents, obviously, if they're going to appear on a video. So that's kind of some of the stuff I'm working through. Anna, teach us your game. Yeah, I'm hoping she'll come back, because Anna is actually local. She stayed in Chicago. She's going to school in the Chicago area. So I'm hoping that I can find a time in her school schedule and our studio availability for her to come in and run more content. So can you do a video on how to DM? Yes, I have a lot of videos on the channel that are DM tips, GM tips. But I plan on doing 2 kind of new series of videos that will be in playlists. One is going to be how to be a good player, because I've had a lot of requests from people about how to prepare, how to be a good player for the game, how to be prepared, how to build characters. A lot of other channels have how to build a character things, channels that are much bigger than mine. But, I think a lot of them don't necessarily go into detail about how you can be a good player in not just D&D, in any game. And then I'm also going to do some more of the DM tips and GM tips for how to be a good DM. Hey, DoD Spec Ops. I'm glad we finally connected over email. And that picture of that mini looks dope, and I can't wait to get it and show it off. Ryan Wolfcraft says, yes, thank you. I binge watched the last 2 seasons. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Sandy, I will do more crafting tutorials. For those of you who don't know, my crafting has been very limited. So, because I don't have a crafting space at home right now, and haven't for months, going on a long time. So I have been crafting at the studio, and I do have a bunch more crafting vids to add on. Some of them work with pink foam. Others are going to be some different materials. I'm a big fan of using cheap or recycled or free materials to make your terrain, so I'll be elaborating on that stuff as well. Solo Gunter asks, can you please do a video on terrain and miniatures? I will, in fact. If you watch the unboxing videos, I have a bunch of unboxings for the Mantic Games Terrain Crate videos. So today was one of the releases, and then we have 2 more coming up. And we just have a crazy amount of terrain that we are going to paint up. And I think I'm going to involve the students, because I think, well, actually, a lot of the students have seen this stuff and they really want to learn how to paint minis and paint terrain. So I'm going to invite them to join me at the table, and then they'll be able to kind of get in on the fun as well. So you guys will be able to enjoy those videos, and we'll walk through different techniques and share our successes and our failures, because we learn from every attempt we do. Matthew Todd, I will wish you a happy birthday and good luck tomorrow, because you have I have to survive hell parentheses school. So Matthew Todd, I appreciate your support on the channel. So here it goes. I have a cold, so don't judge. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Matthew Todd. Happy birthday to you. School might be hell, but I had a pretty rough day today too. But, you know, in the end, it's just a day and there's always tomorrow. So stay positive. Thank you for the shout out. And it would be awesome to play D&D with you. You know what? It would be awesome to play D&D with everybody. And I'm working on it, people. We have our own convention in the Chicago suburbs that we started last year called LionCon, LYONCON. We have a website for it, lioncon.net. We have a Facebook page for it. And we are in the early stages now of finalizing the new map for the layout of the room. There's going to be a lot of tournament stuff for the people who like Adventurers League and also some wargaming stuff. So we have a friend who is willing to put together a Warhammer tournament, and we're going to have some space allotted to that. We are also going to have open tables for gaming, and people will be running games there so people can hop in. We have vendors, we have panelists, we're going to have an artist alley. It's going to be amazing. Last year was incredible. This year is going to be amazing. It's not a huge convention. The building's fire code limit is something like 800. But if you're in the Chicago area in the first weekend in February, you won't be able to find a more fun and close-knit convention. So it's only $10 at the door per day, and there's a lot of fun in store. We're gonna have anime. We're gonna have like an anime screening room for those people who like that. We're gonna have a cosplay contest again, and a lot of special guests. So it should be really fun. I'm hoping to be at GaryCon, which is in March. And I don't know yet what my capacity will be there. I might be completely booked working GaryCon as the official GaryCon video crew, like we were for Gen Con. If that's the case, I don't know how much time I'm going to have to run games. But if I'm not on the official video crew, I might still be at GaryCon. So we'll see. As for other conventions, right now, all that stuff is up in the air. That's about all I can talk about right now. So moving on, this is Scott Marish. Hey, Scott, how's it going? Glad to see you on the chat. It's good to see all you guys. This was totally impromptu. Like, this is not a planned thing. I was just at home and I have like an hour of peace and quiet. So I pulled up all my notes related to the season 3 campaign. I will give a few more spoilers out, remind me, but I want to answer a few of the questions since you guys are here. How do I get pink foam? Well, pink foam is basically insulation. You can get it at pretty much any big box store like Menards or Home Depot. Sometimes they don't have the pink foam, they have the blue foam, but it's relatively cheap. And it's a very durable material, and it's easy to work with. It helps if you have a hot wire tool, but you don't need one. So yeah, as far as the cost for playing D&D, here's my tip. Don't spend too much money on D&D at first. I played role-playing games for the better part of 30 years without owning any miniatures or any terrain. The beautiful thing about tabletop role-playing games is that they exist in your imagination. It's a collective, interactive storytelling experience. So all you really need is a set of dice and some pencils and paper. And if one person in your gaming group has a player's handbook, you're good to go. That's it. That's what I would start with. Now, eventually, you might want to invest in some miniatures or some terrain or make your own terrain. And those are all options, too. The most cost-effective thing is actually just printing your own terrain. Printing your own miniatures. I see a lot of people using paper minis. So they go onto the web, they find like a cool illustration of a character, and they scale it down and they print it out. And then, you know, sometimes you glue it to foam core or cardboard, and then now you have a little mini. If you want actual miniatures, there are a lot of different ways to buy them. We live in a golden era right now of miniatures. You can go order them online. I mean, WizKids makes the Nolzur's miniatures. You could buy Pathfinder minis. If you could find Mage Knight miniatures, they work for D&D too. They were made for the game Mage Knight. They're slightly taller scale, but you could usually find them used or buy a lot of them for really cheap. So that's another solution. Hey, Australia. Hey, Fiona. I don't know if it's morning or night in Australia, but welcome. Thanks for being here. Australia. Nicholas has asked, what happened to Trixie and Willie Stroker? So if you watch the season 2 epilogue, it's really short. It's literally just me, Sean, and Anna in Carafa's living room, and we kind of wrap up the story with them. But at the same time, like any good TV show or movie, we left it open-ended. In a perfect world, I would love to continue the story of Trixie and Willie. I do have a whole bunch of plans if I'm able to get Sean and Anna together. However, Sean is going to school in Kansas and Anna is in Chicago. So the only realistic way to do that is either online or when they're both in town over holidays. So we shall see. I can't make any promises at this point. I'm very optimistic because I think if I can get them together, the narrative and the storyline that they would have will be awesome. And it ties into my entire, like, overall campaign, chronicle, what have you. So it could be a really cool part of the series. Oh boy, I'm running behind. Sorry guys, I'm trying to catch up on the chat. So when do we get Bill Allen's vocal covers? Not now because I have a cold, Ellen. But you know, I have lots of clips from my band on somewhere on the YouTube channel, so you could dig it up. The band is called Thick Six. We basically do a lot of rock and blues and classic rock. And that's what I do with the band. I sing. But thank you. I appreciate the compliments. What do I do outside of D&D? Well, my job is a teacher. So I teach. And specifically, I teach video, film and video, film and television at a high school. It occupies a tremendous amount of my time because I'm part teacher, part administrator. So that means I work all 12 months. I don't get summers off like normal teachers, but I do get vacation days. I'm also a member of a media teacher organization. I'm actually founder of the Student Silent Film Festival, which started up last year. A couple of colleagues and I started up a Student Silent Film Festival. And if you want to learn more about it, you could go to studentsilentfilmfestival.com. But yeah, that's an amazing thing, and that festival's coming up this fall, so that keeps me busy. I'm involved in a ton of stuff with my kids. Scouts, both of my boys are in Scouts. God, what else do I do? I watch a lot of movies and TV shows. I don't have cable. I don't have TV. I just have Netflix and Amazon Prime. Every once in a while when I can, I like to sing or perform with bands, but you know, time is tight. So yeah. And then I do a lot of stuff with Brian Thomas over at Initiative Coffee Company. I play in his series, The Bard's Tale, and I also obviously produce all their video content with him. So that kind of keeps me busy. I have been an educator since 2006. Where are we at? Yeah, so I worked in film in the Chicago area for about 4 years. And then I transferred over into television. And I did that for another about 5 years. And then I went back to school and got my degree to teach. And never thought that I'd be teaching media. I went back to school to be an English teacher. My undergraduate degree is a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Photo, Film, and Electronic Media. So I never really thought that I'd find a high school that had a program. And then lo and behold, I was lucky enough to get the job teaching media at my old high school. So I tell people quite often that especially, and then I went back to school to be a teacher, and then I got the job teaching what I did professionally at my old high school. So it's the best of all worlds. I get to work with really great kids. Our school is astoundingly fortunate to have great equipment, great facilities. I have a great crew of staff that works for me and kids to work with. So it's the best of all the worlds. And of course, I keep my video skills fresh because I'm constantly producing stuff. I mean, we do over 200 programs a year, like well over 200 programs a year. And at least 100 of those are live multicam productions. In fact, we as a school program just got nominated for Student Production Awards for the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. So we made it out of 2,000 entries across the nation into the top 5 in the live sports category. And the awards for that are going to be hosted and streamed online on October 18th. And Tom Bergeron is the host of the awards show. So it's like really legit. So it's pretty cool just to be nominated. The fact that we made it to the top 5 and we're nominated for a student Emmy is pretty incredible. If we win, I will just lose my mind. But it's definitely earned because my kids bust their ass. Like I said, I mean, we do over 100 truck productions a year. So my kids are always working on live productions, and it's a great opportunity for them to develop their skills and make those connections, because there are a lot of jobs out there in film and television, but it's not easy and you really have to work. And I try to give my students every advantage that they can. Okay. You're welcome, Matthew. Let's see. I love cosplay. Me too. D&D with high schoolers. Yes. The reason I'm the reason that you're starting D&D, Sage. I'm honored. That's my goal. I have people ask me all the time why I don't monetize the videos on my channel. It's not that I can't use the money, because I can, but I really just do it because I have benefited so much from D&D and other role-playing games, and I want other people to see the value. I've said it so many times that you know, role-playing games have expanded my horizons. They've opened up my interests and love of learning, of reading, writing, being creative, being artistic, performing, just everything. My interest in history, my interest in religion, the whole thing. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. This is how you know that it's actually totally live. Let's see, what is this? Sorry, guys. This is this is my wife. This is how you know that this is live, because I have to respond to this. She's let's see, darker version. Okay, so there's that. Speaking of cheap D&D, I can never buy maps, so I used to just get some sheets of paper and draw a lot of lines, being all, this is the cliffside, don't fall over that. Yes, that's right. You know what? If you don't consider yourself a crafty person, there are a million ways that you can enhance your game. If you're not streaming your material, if you're not making money off of it, and you're just running a game for your group, just go on Google, find some cool images, find some old maps. You know, basically use other people's creative powers if you don't have the time or the creative energy to make your own, and enhance your game with that kind of stuff. There's absolutely no reason. You know, if I made something and I published it, that's one thing. I'd like to see some compensation for the work that I put into it. But, you know, a lot of people just share their stuff related to games online. And if they're sharing it like that, then, you know, you're part of the community. If you're playing, if you're learning, borrow some of that cool stuff, you know. The only thing I will say is I'm not into piracy. So don't don't take pirated PDFs of game books, because you're basically stealing from the people who paid a lot of money to make those. You're stealing from the writers, the artists, the editors, all that stuff. So if you're gonna, if you need a player's handbook, go out and buy one, because you're supporting a good cause, or whatever game it is. Don't take pirated PDFs of stuff, because I don't know, it's not cool. And I understand what it's like to be broke and not be able to afford cool stuff. But at the same time, remember that people's jobs went into making whatever it is that you're stealing. So don't steal. That's my PSA about pirated materials. I've heard a little bit about D&D, and I randomly decided to look it up on YouTube the other day, and now I'm hooked. Good for you, Kevin. It's a healthy experience. Like, a lot of people have, bad habits. A lot of people have like hobbies that cost a lot of money. Like, I don't go golfing or, anything expensive. I mean, no offense to golfers, but like, I don't do anything expensive. My hobby doesn't cost me anything. Correction, it does, because I spend a lot of money on dumb things, but it doesn't have to. You could get together with a group of people and play role-playing games and have fun, and it's good. It's good, people, especially this day and age. I know this sounds funny because we're watching each other through a screen, but we all need to disconnect sometimes. Sitting around a table with other humans and interacting with no screens is a great way to do it. And if you can't get together with a group of people in person, then go ahead and use screens. But the point is that human interaction is something we all need. So whatever you can, play whatever you can, play with whoever you can, and, have fun with it. That's what we're doing. Hey, Trodat. I see you, Trodat. Dancing lessons with Chicago Bill. Wow, I'm really behind. Sorry, guys. Also, you can use Legos if you have them. They're pretty much in D&D scale. But yeah, use whatever. Use Legos. I sometimes at garage sales or yard sales, people will be selling old kids' toys. A lot of times you can convert those kid toys to like basically D&D terrain. In fact, I have a video on Smurf cottages, how I turned Smurf cottages, which were just stupid little McDonald's Happy Meal toys, into cottages for terrain, and they rule. They're awesome. Still watching the summer sessions. I start my first ever campaign this weekend. Thanks for the inspiration and motivation. Thank you, Sage. Let me know how it goes, seriously. And if it doesn't go well, don't lose your passion or enthusiasm. Sometimes it takes a little while for the chemistry at the table to click, especially if you're new and you're learning the rules, but just have fun with it. Okay, thanks. I have, I'm looking at the comments. Crafting. The cast we steal. Oh, yes. Joshua Patton, thank you. Yeah, for those who weren't here in the beginning of the stream, we have narrowed down the cast to 4 people. It's going to be Tony K, our resident guitar player, Beecher, Neely, and Matt O'Malley. So I will get their t-shirt sizes, and I will get them to you right quick, Josh. Thank you for reminding me. Bill Allen, what's your favorite movie? That's really tough. I actually have a list. It's a Google sheet. Maybe I'll share that in a video down the line. It's hard to pick a favorite movie because I'm a film major and I analyze a lot of different things. I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. Basically all the major directors have in some way inspired me. Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Peter Jackson, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm a nerd, so like I love the superhero movies. I love the fantasy movies, that kind of stuff. But outside of those genres, I also like a lot of other films for different reasons. But yeah, I mean, if I just had to pick a go-to, I would say Pulp Fiction is a movie that I could watch over and over and over again. I have probably 1,000 times. So Tombstone, great movie. It's a Western. Yeah, I'd have to think on that. But I I have a Google sheet that has about 75 different films on the list. Their respective directors like them. So maybe I'll share that sheet at some point in a later video. Good question, though, Nicholas Aikman. Friend from work. So Michael Davis says, friend from work is putting together a villain campaign and asked me to be a part of it. That will be a blast. It's amazing when you have no moral compass, what you and your group can do in a fantasy setting. So I'm sure that will be pretty crazy. Ryan Wolf says, you deserve 3 Emmys. Thank you, Ryan Wolf. I'm just honored that my students are going to be honored. You know what I mean? Like, even if they don't win, the fact that our high school is on that link. In fact, I'll pull it up in another tab. This is how proud I am of it. Student awards, October 18th. Let me see if I could find it. There's like a whole page to it, I think. Media. Oh, come on. There's like a whole press release about it. Let me see if I could find it. Why does it have 2017? Ugh, their website blows. All right, let me go back to Google and see if I could find it. National Student Awards. National Emmy Student Awards. Ugh, whatever. Anyway, I'll have to find the link. There's my dog coming to sit by me on the couch. He's a dog. His name's Scooter. Y'all could see him if you want to. I'll turn the camera towards him. Hold on. Okay. So I have the link. I'm going to share it in the chat. And this is, boom, there it is. And if you scroll down, if you go to that link and you scroll down, it lists all the different categories. And under the category of sports-live event, you will see us. It's pretty impressive. So I dig that. Okay, Mike Hugh. Oh, I have the only question that matters. How long are we having you chat with us live? Should I get comfy and heat up a cup of tea? About 5 more minutes because I have to go pick up my older son from Boy Scouts. I would have him walk home, but it's dark outside. And oddly enough, we live in a pretty nice community, but there have been a few, I don't want to call them muggings, but a few incidences where like elementary school and middle school kids have been basically like bullied or beat up for their money and their cell phones, which is basically mugging. So I don't really feel like having that happen to him. Boom, boom, boom. Wingard says, thanks, Bill, for everything you've done with the channel. Any plans to run one-shots with different student groups? Yes, but the burners are pretty full right now. So season 3 of D&D with high school students is the primary focus. Possible online D&D with college students is secondary. Third is Anna coming back and running her game. Fourth is D&D with college students live in the studio during holiday breaks. There is one more big project that is related to role-playing and actual play that I cannot talk about yet because of legal reasons. But there's a chance that there would be something even bigger than that coming this fall, but I can't talk about it yet. So, man, I'm really behind on this. I'm sorry, guys, if I don't get to specific questions. I'm just skimming this. Yes. Is third season going to be blessed with more regularity than the second? Trodat, I'm trying, brother. The aim is this. I hope that we'll have an episode every week. And then in between the episodes every week, you'll also get a behind the scenes update because I'm actually making the students produce content. So it's going to be part of their whole thing. Okay. I want to go to the school you teach at. I think you'd be a great teacher and love what you have to learn to teach. Yes. Thank you, Ryan. I'm honored by that. I try to be a good teacher, and I consider myself very blessed to be at a school that lets me teach media to kids and actually have a lot of hands-on opportunities. We shoot all the varsity sports that we possibly can, boys and girls. We shoot all of the choir, band, jazz band, orchestra concerts, school assemblies, and then students also make their own original programs. So we are very fortunate. Josh asks the golden question. When do you start recording season 3? Tentatively, I'm going to regret saying this, tentatively next week. Knock on wood, people. I'm trying. Hopefully next week. But I promise you that you will have season 3 session 0 stuff coming out for sure next week. For sure. And I also have some more D&D related content. There's unboxings this week. I have some DM tips, DM vlogs coming as well. And then look out for a special short video on Monday. I can't tell you what it is, but you guys will not be disappointed. I'll put it to you this way. There's a cameo appearance from one of your all-time favorite people that'll be showing up Monday. Okay. Oh, hey, Michael. That's Michael Garbar's people. He's behind the scenes. You'll be seeing him. You'll be meeting him. Okay, I have to go pick up my kid. So the last season 3 spoiler that I'll leave you with is the setting. Season 3 of D&D with high school students will be set on the continent of Nuwaf Otmai, which you came to know during season 2. And you will see some recurring NPCs in season 3. So thank you for tuning into this very impromptu, totally unplanned live session. And that was the last of the spoilers I could give. So love you all. Thank you all for supporting the channel and the kids. This is what we're doing, and we'll keep doing it. So thanks again for tuning into everything. And make sure, if you haven't done it already, click that little bell so you get all the notifications when the new videos come out. New videos coming out every day this week, except Sunday. So peace out and have a great one. We'll see you soon.